All right, yeah, and there it is. Thursday, March 15th. Thanks everybody for coming to or watching the design meeting for Active Test for Backdrop CMS. In this meeting, we have a couple of quick updates. The design related tasks we're working on right now is on Backdrop. This isn't quite it. So we have an item here under Backdrop the product. That's not, maybe this is the install. This is the, it says modules page. If I don't have designs for that one, so I have something for backdropcms.org instead. But basically the issue is that on the modules page right now, you can use the search box to search for a module. But there are other ways you might want to have to be able to browse the modules that you have installed or are on the list but not installed yet. So we want to be able to add, for example, the option to search or sort by core modules. We want to be able to let you search by the ways the modules are organized. For example, right now they're grouped by what's called a package, which is really just a kind of a group of things that we think goes together. And if you type in the name of the package, you don't actually get the module returned in the results. So we want to fix that. We also want to add another thing called tag, which would be something that wouldn't group the modules automatically. But if your module, for example, fits into more than one package, you choose one package as the most likely. You could list all the other ones as tags. And that way, people who are searching for things that maybe don't fit into a group that core is predefined can group their modules together into a secondary or tertiary group that might make sense for those projects additionally. So we don't have any designs for that because it's basically the same design as what we have now with some additional searching functionality added. So no, not a lot of design change, but we haven't made any progress on that since our last design meeting. It is going to be a huge usability win, I think, when we get it done. We also have a ton of issues that are tagged with the UX and square brackets on the backdropcms.org issue queue. A lot of those are pretty easy to, they're good issues for first people who haven't contributed to Backdrop or haven't contributed to open source before, because a lot of them are changing words in places that might make more sense. Some of them are making things just look a little clearer with CSS changes. So if you have any experience with CSS, that might be a good place to jump into. So even though we don't have a lot of those issues highlighted here as being things that we want to get done for the next major release, anything that's usability improvement can get in at any time. So if you're passionate about usability or want to make a difference or want to just get started and working on Backdrop, those issues are great places to get started because you can see them come to fruition pretty quickly. So what we're working on in Backdrop Core right now is the modules page, but also any of these usability issues. If anyone wants to jump in and redesign some of those pages or tweak the designs in certain places, we could definitely use designer feedback on all of those as well. Our next item on the agenda is backdropcms.org, which is our flagship website. And we're working also to improve the module browsing experience there as well. So we have an issue in the backdropcms.org queue. It's issue number 442. That would be to apply the designs that we originally got when we had designs made for backdropcms.org, specifically for the modules, themes, and layouts pages. And I have pulled up the designs here, so I'm going to see if I can share my screen. Let's try this. Hey, can you guys see that?
Yep.
So this is a PDF version of the designs. So what we have here is the search page, which looks a lot like the search page we have now, but it has some additional filters added to it. So right now the search order is by popular, but we should be able to allow people to filter and sort the list of available modules. We didn't implement this initially because we didn't have that many modules, but now that we have a lot of modules, it's going to be important to get those features added back. And then each section for the module that's returned is also in a slightly different format. We've added the number of downloads and number of installs for each one as well as links directly to download it or to get more information about the project. And then we have somewhere here, we have a design of what it will look like when the filters are open. Here we go. So here we have when the filter section is open, it would just give us a bunch of checkboxes. And right now, these items map exactly to the projects on the modules page, but eventually we'll have tags as well. And so we'll kind of give you some other options of how you can choose categories and or tags for that. And then I think we have an design here for sort as well. So you can try and figure out how you want to see your modules sorted, whether it's by the most relevant search results, which will be the default, or if we want to do by most downloads. These are obviously examples of how the options would look, not necessarily real examples there. Transcending is not a sort of option, but you'd at least get an idea for what it'll look like. And then we also have some further designs for the module page itself. Some of these have already been implemented. We added the sidebar, but we didn't add, there's a secondary sidebar that's supposed to show all of the releases, and that hasn't been added to the modules page yet. So that now that a bunch of our modules have a lot of releases, it might be good to get that implemented as well. So this is kind of what we're looking at in terms of what the designs for the modules and, more importantly, find modules pages will look like. And hopefully those changes will coincide nicely with the changes to the modules page in your software. And then did my screen share automatically stop when I minimized that? I'm confused.
It did.
Okay. I'm like, where, how, I can't talk and work the screen at the same time. Sorry, everyone. But yeah, so hopefully we'll get the modules improvements done to both the modules page and the software and the module page on the website, and everybody will have a much better experience selecting and installing modules, themes, and layouts for Backtub. I don't think there's any updates for any of the other projects that we're working on right now. Recently, we have done a little tweaking to the forum. We have done a little tweaking to the API site. It's running a new theme. If you see any problems on any of those projects, please enter issues into the issue queue, but there will be more improvements coming in those areas as well. So that's all I have for today's design meeting. Is there anything that you wanted to bring up, Nate, that's been going on recently that you think might be relevant?
No, not in design tasks.
Okay. Well, then we will meet again in about 40 minutes to talk about active development tasks. And I know there's been a whole bunch of exciting stuff going on in that world lately. So if you're interested in what we've been up to lately, that might be a good meeting to watch. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.